Hi, I'm Mark Christopher Lawrence, and I'm very proud to be a part of this project. Poston, Arizona, November 16th, 1942. Dear Miss Breed, guess who? Yep, it's old, unreliable again. None other than yours truly, Tetszuzo. Gosh, the wind's been blowing all night and all morning, kind of threatening to blow the roofs down. Dust is all over the place, gives everything a coating of fine dust. It seems that there's some last-minute changes concerning Miss Lila MacArthur's visit. The fellows that she was going to visit left camp to go to the sugar beet fields, so that the trip here was called off. Maybe when the fellows get back, she will make the trip. I don't know much about her, except that she's a cousin of some sort to General MacArthur. She's been a bookkeeper for a produce house, German and Sons, for quite a long time. That was where she became acquainted with the Japanese. She is the mother of one of my classmates in San Diego High School. She used to come to Santa Anita almost every weekend to visit the boys that used to know her in San Diego. Thanks for the news of Mr. Campion. There are many people who worked and lived in Coronado here, so they are interested in that item. Many knew him personally and were so sad to hear that he had drowned. Heard from Dad about a week ago. It seems that there is a possibility that many of the internees are to be released sometime close to Christmas. That's what the rumors have it. Almost everyone who has someone in internment camp believes that his someone is coming home. At any rate, the alien enemy control at Washington is considering to allow families to join the husbands in the internment camp. Many of us have written Edward J. Ennis, director of the alien enemy control unit, asking that it be the other way around. Yes, Fusa's dad is still interned. I am still working in the mess hall. Birds have to get up early in the morning. It is around 38 degrees in the morning, and in the middle part of the afternoon, it is around 80 plus. The mornings don't warm up until just about noontime. My arm is all right. Not near so as strong as Santa Anita because I don't do any loading or unloading of supplies. Have been doing a little bit of carpentry, as many of us here have no furniture other than cots. Haven't got much made here in my own apartment, as most of my work is over where the men folk have left for the sugar beet fields or where there just ain't no men folk. The food has been all right except for quantity. We still have trouble with the warehouse transportation system. Also, transportation on the outside to bring food all the way from the coast to here to Poston is limited. The medical situation here is pitiful. For that matter, in all three camps. The main and the only hospital is at Camp 1, 15 miles away. Here in Camp 3, there is one doctor with not too much experience and one student doctor working in an emergency clinic. They are supposed to take care of 5,000 people. And they, the big shots, wonder why we squawk about inadequate medical attention. With the extremes in temperature a daily occurrence, more and more people are coming down with bad colds. If the flu should hit this or any of the other camps. The dental facilities here in Camp 3 is considered the best because the only dental drill in the three camps is here. The dentists work only half a day because there aren't any tools to work with. The government as yet hasn't sent any equipment to this camp. Many of the dentists are using their own tools without compensation for loss or breakage. No, I haven't hiked to the river yet. I'd better do it soon because there's going to be a fence around this camp, 5 strands of barbed wire. They say it's to keep people out. What people? The Redskins? It's also to keep cattle out. Where in the cattle countries do they use 5 strands of barbed wire? If they don't watch out, there's going to be trouble. What do they think, we're fools? At Santa Anita, at that time of the riot, the armed cars parked outside of the main gate pointed heavy machine guns inside. And then the Army had the gall to tell us that the purpose of that was to keep white folks from coming in to mob the Japs. Same thing with the guards on the watchtowers. They had their machine guns pointed at us to protect us from outsiders. I'm laughing, yet enough of this before I go out and murder a white man by killing myself. Say, what is that? Just as I wrote that, 3 bombers came roaring overhead, flying so low that the barracks shook. Every now and then, the Chinese Air Force, who are training somewhere close to Poston, come zooming down at us here in the camp. They must think it's funny. Someday, one of us is going to have a gun. A couple of weeks ago, one of the bombers, twin-motored Douglas attack bomber, crashed on the other side of the Colorado and burst into flame. It wasn't right, but a lot of us were kind of glad in a cynical sort of way. God forgive us our thoughts that are beginning to run amok in our brains. Last week, a very good friend of mine got to thinking, and he went crazy. He tried to commit suicide by slashing his wrists. His roommates found him bleeding and immediately gave him first aid. He is still alive, but his face is like that of a wild ape, caged for the first time. Gosh, I get chills every time I remember how he looked that morning. I think he was sent to an insane asylum in Los Angeles. Gee, what a morbid letter this turned out to be. Well, Thanksgiving is just around the corner. Is it going to be on the last Thursday of the month, or I don't know. We're supposed to have turkey in the camp. I'm sending you a few things in appreciation for what you have done for me, as well as for my sister and all the rest. The lapel pins are for you and your sister and Miss McNary. If I remembered correctly, Miss McNary's first name is Helen. If I'm wrong, you may do what you wish with the pen, but please tell me her name. Also, what is your mother's name? There are 3 dogs made by Miss Umazawa from Pipe Cleaners. A longer ribbon may be used so that the dog pin may be pinned to the lapel or the blouse. The corsages are for you and your mother. They were made by Mrs. Oye, Mrs. Umazawa's daughter. The small roses were made by Mrs. Hirai and Mrs. Cucino, and also Jane Cucino, Mrs. Cucino's 14-year-old daughter. The chrysanthemum was made by Mrs. Nakamura, a very good friend of mine. For that matter, they're all very good friends of mine. The mum was made from lemon wrappers and crepe paper. A word about Mrs. Nakamura. A former dressmaker with plenty of time on her hands took up knitting, also learning English, and now making flowers. So busy now, she has almost no spare time. If it is possible, could you send some simple child primers and a grammar book about 7th grade? Your nameplate I made from mesquite, as are also the lapel pins. However, the dark pin is made from a knot of pine wood from Santa Anita. The rest are all Poston products. The evacuation order came just as I was about to send it, so it slipped my mind and I thought I'd lost it. After all, it was the only souvenir from Santa Anita. Aren't we Japs clever? We are learning to make beautiful things out of ugly scrap because we are having a hard time to get materials like pipe cleaners for dogs, crepe paper for flowers, also soft wire for flowers. We get ugly, dead mesquite branches and twigs and turn them into a thing of beauty by attaching paper, orange blossoms, cherry blossoms made from Kleenex, tinted. I wish you had been able to attend our handicraft fairs here in Poston 1 and 2. Words just cannot describe the beautiful carvings, paintings, knittings, crochet work, dressmaking, etc. If I only had a camera, you would have at least a rough idea as to what had been made. I've got to close now so that I can make the outgoing mail. Very truly yours, Tetsuzo. P.S. Have a nice Thanksgiving dinner. P.S. Do you think you could send me some Welch's peanut butter brittle?